Valorize your mental health, because your mental health is everything you got to protect with the last blood of drop in you. Do you know that Clara this time around still faulted again? Clara, after hearing some truth, left her restaurant and went to the office to attack Jonathan there, thereby bringing about public humiliation upon themselves and that of Hans's company. At least she would have even waited in the house to do her reaction or to attack Jonathan from there. And Hans, on his own part, also retaliated by chasing both of them out of his office. Now, the daughter also got angry and spoke rudely to the mother. And the mother did what? Slapped the daughter as well, due to what? Jonathan's manipulation. Clara's mother, on her own part, doesn't see anything good with Clara again. All she sees is Jonathan. Yes, the archaic mentality of that no matter what, you must submit and die in your marriage. That is her mentality, which is wrong. Now, coming to Clara, what did Clara do? Clara called Hans's secretary to find out what actually transpired in Hans's office. You know, she was feeling this guilt in her that why will I react the way I did to Hans? I slapped Hans for no just cause. And when this lady opened her mouth, truth was right before Clara's face. Clara felt so ashamed. This lady said your husband's ego will not allow your husband work in the company. Your husband is practically causing problems with everyone. Your husband doesn't want to work, but rather is out to bring problem in Hans's company. And that is why they bundled him out. Clara heard this, was so angry again, picked her bag and went to the office shouting at the top of her voice, where is this man called Jonathan? Jonathan, hearing the wife's voice, stepped outside. Immediately he showed his face. Clara landed this guy solid slap. This guy also gave it back. Clara was like, how dare you lie or set confusion between me and Hans? Why do you want to paint Hans black in my eyes? Why do you want Hans to also hate me? Do you know the gravity of what you have made me do? Due to your lies and manipulation and deceit, I had to go to Hans's house and slap the hell out of him without listening to his own part of the story. Why are you causing problems, Jonathan? Why are you a snake? Jonathan said, because I'm keeping quiet. Jonathan gave it back to her again, and they started fighting. People gathered watching. That was a public show. They held each other's neck that they will finish up themselves. Hans too could not sit quiet. Hans had to step out of the office. Worried, disturbed, perplexed, stopped them. Were they even hearing Hans's voice? They were rather exchanging wordings, evil wordings. Chai! Hans felt so bad deep within him that is it the woman I love that is being diminished like this? Her character is questioned. Look at the way Jonathan doesn't respect her at all. Hans felt so bad and did what? Stopped them at the top of his voice and ordered them to his office. Warned them and told them that if you have your marital affairs, don't bring it to my office. This is my property. Why do you want to spoil my work for me? Settle your problems at your house. Don't bring it here. Shouted at them and chased them out of the office without giving Clara a second chance to talk. Clara too now was angry, worried that Hans has never for once raised his voice at her. But this time Hans did it. So she was worried. Remember, she also raised her hand on Hans for the very first time. Why she have never done this? All this because of Jonathan's manipulation. Debbie was there with her. Debbie was like, okay, if this is what actually happened, why not go and ask Hans's forgiveness? Why will you believe your husband Jonathan, knowing that he is a caring person, knowing that he is full of ego? Why will you take wordings from him and act on them? Clara, you are wrong this time. That is Benny talking, which is very good advice that Benny is giving, despite the fact that Benny is thinking that Hans getting angry with Clara for the first time is already stringing out their relationship, not knowing that Hans was getting angry because of the way Jonathan treated Clara before his very presence and in the public. There was no respect, no self-dignity. Out of love, that was why he shouted at them. Out of love, he shouted at Clara because Clara got married to the wrong figure. Debbie was like, okay, if you don't want to go there alone, I can go with you and talk to Hans. Hans is your destiny helper. Don't allow Jonathan or anything spoil your relationship. Clara was like, okay, I have heard you. I will do something, but I don't know how I can even face him because right now I'm just ashamed of everything that has happened. Yes, you ought to be ashamed because first of all, you never gave him listening ear to explain his own side of the story. You rather attacked him, believing you are rubbish husband. Number two, believing your husband. Number two, you went again to his office and attacked your husband there, causing chaos there without waiting on your husband back home to attack him. So how will you expect Hans to feel? Helping you people, is it a crime? Now Jonathan also returned home and also dramatized everything before Mama and Benny. Shouted there at the top of his voice while crying, saying that Clara came to the office, beat him for no just cause, insulted him and joined hands, and they make a mockery of him. Normally, the mother too got angry hearing this. Then why will her daughter Clara raise her hand on her husband? Children of nowadays. And this guy was crying. Benny also got angry upon hearing this and said, no, mother have disrespected you enough. Took transport from her dad and left to see the mother in the restaurant. Faced the mother in the restaurant and spoke to the mother like a child. The mother was shocked. Shouted at the mother, which was bad. The mother gave her one woto slap. Now how dare you talk to me this manner? So you are not telling me that I don't have any right to shout at your father or make problems with your father? And she said, you have right to talk to my father, but humiliating him in the public is what I will not take from you. You would have waited for that to return back home before you talk to him. Why are you humiliating him together with your ex-boyfriend? She still gave another slap and chased Benny out of the restaurant. A lot is already happening in her head. Why? Because of Jonathan's manipulation. Jonathan seems to be succeeding in his plan of action. Now, Clara returned home, angry, and met the mother. The mother shouted at her again for returning back home late and also for leaving her restaurant to go and attack Jonathan in the office. Then how will you team or join forces with your ex-boyfriend to humiliate your husband the way you did? I never raised you to be like that. In fact, you cease going to that restaurant. And as I'm talking to you, you will never for once leave this marriage for Hans. Clara was speechless. Clara had to explain everything to the mother. The mother said, you were wrong. You are all liars. You cannot come here and fabricate story about your husband. Respect your husband. He paid diary on you. Respect your husband. And Benny also told the mother that the fact that my dad has paid diary on you and you live under his roof, you need to respect my father. You see how the thing is now? Everybody now is against Clara. Clara told Jonathan should stop being manipulative, stop being deceitful, and rather go and get a job to sort out himself and sort out his family bills with it, rather than doing what he's doing. And she left. She said as far as she's concerned, she will not stop that job. She will become she has already become an independent woman. That she has had it. She has been silent for long. That Jonathan has made her to go into depression countless times, but this time around she is not turning back. That she would work and fend for herself and take care of herself and become that independent woman that she ought to be. That gone are those days that women will sit and tolerate nonsense from their husband in the house. That is a good one from you, Clara. I appreciate you for this. You always stand up for yourself, but sometimes you just act without reasoning, and also you let your emotion override your reasoning faculty. Now coming to this man. Hans got home worried, told everything to the mother, and told the mother that his problem is the fact that this man humiliated the wife, disrespected Clara, that how he wish things were not the way it were now, he would have been so happy that Clara is in his hands or in his house as his wife. He would have cherished and loved Clara. And the mother said the only solution to this problem is to stay away from Jonathan. Fire that young man from your company. Send him away. Disconnect from this family and let them be. That is the only way out, son. If not, you are heading towards your doom, your self-destruction by your own self. Can't you see it, that the handwriting is written on the wall, that everything boils down to destruction? Rearrange your life. You love this lady so much, yes, and so what? She is now married with a child. Start your own life at fresh. You can build your life by yourself. Don't let your emotion make you not to build your own life. But you know, as they speak, love is what cannot be dictated upon, right? This guy loved Clara genuinely, and maybe with the way things are going, Clara will turn back into this guy's arms. Let's watch and see. Let me have your point of view in the comment section below. Do you think Clara going to Hans's company to attack Hans there, to attack Jonathan there, was the right thing for her to do after discovering the truth that Jonathan manipulated the whole scenario? Let me hear from you, and please valorize your mental health, okay? Above everything, your mental health is your priority. Don't let anybody sabotage it from you or take it away from you. Share this video out and subscribe if it is your first time watching us. Thank you for watching. From me to you, all is love.